Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into an incredible story of courage, conviction, and a miracle that defied the laws of nature. It's a tale from the ancient kingdom of Babylon, a story that has echoed through millennia, teaching us about the power of unwavering faith. This is the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Picture this: the sprawling plains of Babylon, under the rule of the mighty King Nebuchadnezzar. He was a man of immense power and ego. To solidify his authority and perhaps his own divinity, he commissions a colossal statue made entirely of gold. This wasn't just a sculpture, it was a testament to his power, soaring 90 feet high, gleaming under the hot Babylonian sun. An edict was sent throughout the land, a command that was absolute. When the sound of the horn, flute, lyre, and all kinds of music played, every single person, regardless of rank or status, was to fall to their knees and worship this golden image. The penalty for disobedience was terrifying and absolute: to be thrown alive into a blazing, fiery furnace. As the first notes of the royal orchestra echoed across the plain of Dora, a ripple of movement swept through the gathered masses. Thousands of people from every corner of the empire, governors, administrators, and common folk, prostrated themselves, their faces pressed to the dust. But amidst this sea of submission, three figures remained standing. Three young men, officials in the king's own court: Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They were Hebrew exiles, but their loyalty wasn't to a golden statue. It was to the one true God of Israel, who had commanded them, "You shall have no other gods before me." For them, bowing was not an option. It was a line they would not cross, even if it meant paying the ultimate price. Their defiance, so public and so bold, did not go unnoticed. It didn't take long for word of their disobedience to reach the king's ears. Whispers from jealous officials turned into formal accusations. King Nebuchadnezzar, his pride wounded and his authority challenged, was consumed by a white-hot fury. He summoned the three men to his court. Imagine the tension in that room: the all-powerful king, his face contorted with rage, and these three young men standing before him, calm and resolute. He gave them one last chance. "Is it true," he boomed, "that you refuse to serve my gods and worship the statue? I'll give you one more opportunity. Bow when the music plays, and you will live. If not, you will be thrown into the furnace this very hour. And then what God will be able to rescue you from my hands?" Their response is one of the most powerful declarations of faith ever recorded. They looked the king in the eye and said, "O Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to defend ourselves before you. If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God we serve is able to deliver us from it, and he will rescue us from your hand. But even if he does not, we want you to know, your majesty, that we will not serve your gods or worship the image of gold you have set up." Their faith wasn't a transaction. It wasn't based on a guarantee of rescue. It was absolute trust, a commitment to God, whether they lived or died. The king's rage exploded. He was so incensed that his face became distorted. He commanded that the furnace be heated 7 times hotter than its usual temperature, so hot that the flames were leaping out of the opening. The strongest soldiers in his army were ordered to tie up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and cast them into the fire. The heat was so intense, so overwhelmingly powerful, that the very soldiers who carried out the order were consumed by the flames and perished. The three men, bound in their robes and tunics, fell deep into the heart of the roaring inferno. From a human perspective, it was a swift, brutal, and certain end. But then, something impossible happened. The king, watching the execution, leapt to his feet in utter astonishment. He turned to his advisors, his voice a mixture of confusion and awe. "Weren't there 3 men that we tied up and threw into the fire?" They replied, "Certainly, your majesty." He exclaimed, "Look, I see 4 men walking around in the fire, unbound and unharmed, and the 4th looks like a son of the gods." Peering into the furnace, the court saw a miracle unfolding. The three men were not writhing in agony. They were walking freely amidst the flames. And with them was a fourth, shining figure, a divine protector. The fire that was hot enough to kill the king's elite soldiers had no power over them. Nebuchadnezzar, humbled and awestruck, approached the opening of the furnace and called out, "Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, servants of the Most High God, come out. Come here." And so they did. They walked out of the furnace, in front of the silent, gaping crowd of royal officials. Everyone gathered around, examining them closely. Not a single hair on their heads was singed. Their robes were not scorched. There wasn't even the smell of smoke on them. The fire had touched nothing but the ropes that bound them. In that moment, the king's heart was transformed. He who had demanded worship for his idol now gave praise to their God. He declared, "Praise be to the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who has sent his angel and rescued his servants." They trusted in him and defied the king's command, willing to give up their lives rather than serve or worship any god except their own God. He then issued a new decree. Anyone who spoke against their God would be punished severely, for no other god can save in this way. The three faithful men were then promoted to even higher positions in the province of Babylon. Their courage didn't just save their own lives. It changed the heart of a king and the law of a nation. This story is so much more than a historical account of a miracle. It's a timeless lesson about the nature of true faith. It teaches us that faith isn't about avoiding trials. It's about who we trust when we're in them. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego's courage wasn't born from a certainty they would be saved, but from a certainty of who God is. They show us that standing for what is right, for truth, and for God can put us in the fire. But they also show us that it is in the fire where we can experience God's presence in the most profound way. Their story is a powerful reminder that we are never alone in our struggles. Thank you so much for joining me for this incredible story. If it resonated with you, please hit that like button and consider subscribing for more content that explores these timeless tales of faith and courage. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious and stand firm.